The phone screen glowed like a trader's beacon in the dim bedroom, its light slicing through the midnight hush. My wife, Lena, lay beside me, her breathing soft but uneven, as if she were teetering on the edge of a dream she couldn't escape. The notification pinged again, sharp and insistent, pulling me from the haze of half-sleep. Her phone, face up on the nightstand, buzzed with a message from Claire. "Meet us at the usual spot tomorrow. He'll never suspect." My stomach twisted, a cold knot of dread tightening as I read the words again, hoping I misread them. I hadn't. Lena stirred, her hand brushing my arm, warm and familiar, yet suddenly foreign. I stared at her silhouette, the curve of her shoulder under the thin sheet, and felt a pang of love tangled with suspicion. We'd been married 5 years, built a life of quiet mornings and shared laughter over takeout. But lately, she'd been distant, her eyes darting to her phone, her smiles forced, her excuses for late nights at work piling up like unpaid bills. I'd chalked it up to stress, to her new friend from book club, Claire and Mara, who seemed to orbit her life more than I did now. But that message, it wasn't about books. I didn't touch her phone. Instead, I lay there, heart pounding, mind racing through every moment I might have missed. The way she'd laughed too loudly at Claire's texts, the faint scent of unfamiliar cologne on her scarf last week, the way she'd hesitated when I asked about her weekend plans. Each memory felt like a breadcrumb leading to a truth I wasn't ready to face. Was she cheating? Or was this something else? A cruel prank? A misunderstanding? I wanted to shake her awake, demand answers, but fear glued me to the bed. What if I was wrong? What if I wasn't? Morning came, gray and heavy with rain. Lena kissed me goodbye, her lips brushing mine with a distracted softness. "Book club tonight," she said, her voice too casual, like she'd rehearsed it. I nodded, forcing a smile, but my chest ached as I watched her leave, her red coat vanishing into the drizzle. I couldn't stay still. I called in sick, paced our apartment, the creak of the floorboards echoing my unease. By noon, I was at the cafe she called the usual spot, tucked into a corner booth, hidden behind a newspaper I wasn't reading. They arrived at 1, Lena, Claire, and Mara, laughing as they slid into a booth near the window. The clink of coffee cups and their hushed giggles felt like a performance I wasn't meant to see. I strained to hear, catching fragments. "Test him," Claire whispered, her voice sharp with mischief. "See if he cares enough." Lena's reply was softer, uncertain. "Don't know if I can go through with it." My blood ran cold. A test? Was this some game to gauge my devotion? Or a cover for something worse? I watched Lena's face, her brow furrowed, her fingers twisting a napkin into knots. She looked torn, not like someone plotting betrayal, but like someone trapped in a decision she didn't want to make. Claire leaned in, her smile predatory. "You deserve to know if he'd fight for you. Tell him you're leaving. See what he does." Lena's eyes widened, a flicker of guilt crossing her face. "What if he doesn't care?" she murmured. My heart lurched. Did she really doubt me? I couldn't stay hidden. I stood, the newspaper crumpling, and crossed the cafe. Their laughter died as I approached, Lena's face paling like she'd seen a ghost. "Mark?" she stammered, her voice cracking. Claire's smirk faltered, but Mara just stared wide-eyed. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I just looked at Lena, my voice steady but raw. "If you want to test me, don't. If you want to leave, just say it. But don't play games with my heart." The cafe fell silent, the hum of conversation replaced by the patter of rain. Lena's eyes filled with tears, her hands trembling. "It was their idea," she whispered, glancing at Claire, who looked away. "They said I needed to know if you'd fight for me." Her voice broke, guilt and shame spilling out. "I didn't want to hurt you. I felt so lost." Anger flared, but heartbreak swallowed it. I wanted to scream at Claire, at Mara, for twisting her doubts into this cruel charade. But more than that, I wanted to understand why Lena felt she needed to test me at all. "Do you want out?" I asked, my throat tight. She shook her head, tears falling. "No, I love you. I'm so sorry." I took her hand, pulling her from the booth, leaving Claire and Mara in stunned silence. Outside, under the rain-soaked awning, I held her as she sobbed, her apologies mixing with the downpour. The betrayal wasn't an affair, but it cut just as deep, a fracture in trust, orchestrated by friends who thrived on chaos. As we stood there, drenched and broken, I realized the real test wasn't hers. It was mine, to decide if love could rebuild what doubt had shattered.